For this lesson, we are going to be solving one-step addition equations. There's going to be positive and negative problems. And the reason you'll see my directions say for 1 through 3, it's positive numbers only. These problems are for people that have not learned about integers yet. For problems 4 through 6, notice it will be positive and negative numbers. And I do have integers there. So let's see what we need to do. When we are going to be working with an equation, we have x plus 10 is equal to 40. I want you to think of a scale. So where my equal sign, I'm just going to draw a little line. That's going to remind me, whatever I do on this side of the equation, I have to make sure I do the exact same thing over here. So our goal is always going to be to get the variable alone so we can say it's equal to something. So I see that I have x plus 10 equals 40. This is a plus 10, so the opposite or the inverse operation for addition is subtraction. So I'm going to subtract 10, notice, from both sides of my equation. And I'm going to draw my little line here. I'm bringing my x down, always important. I see when I have a pair of opposites, I want you to think about you have $10, you spend $10, you don't have anything left. So we don't even have to write a 0 there. I'm just going to leave it alone. Equals 40 minus 10, which is 30. So believe it or not, there you go. That's the answer. So you might be saying to yourself, well, I knew that 30 plus 10 is 40. I didn't have to do all this work. Well, you're going to find that your teacher is going to want you to show your steps, because as you get into more complicated problems, you're going to need to make sure that every step is shown. Okay, let's look at number 2. So I have y plus 7 equals 20. Again, here is my line to say that this is one side of my equation, this is the other. Now remember, whatever we do to one side, we have to do to the other. So I am going to go ahead and subtract 7 from both sides. And when I do that, I draw the line so that I can see that now I'm ready to bring stuff down. Y, and notice plus 7 minus 7, that cancels out, it's 0. So is equal to 20 minus 7 is 13. And again, we can go ahead and we can check our answer just by putting 13 in there. And 13 plus 7 is equal to 20. All right, let's take a look at the last problem. It's a little bit different. The number is in the front, but it doesn't matter. So we have 12 plus c equals 30. Again, I want to draw a little line so I can see what am I doing on both sides of my equation. So this is an addition problem. That means I am going to subtract 12 from both sides. And when I do that, again, I have $12, I spend $12, I don't have anything left. I don't have to put a 0 there. And this is plus c, so I'm just going to write c is equal to, and our 30 minus 12, yes, you need to do some regrouping, and it is 18. So again, these first 3 problems are for people that have not learned about integers yet, okay? But let's say now you do know integers are positive and negative numbers, and these problems, you'll notice, have there's a positive 28 and a negative 14, and a negative 10, a positive 33. All right, so notice this is x plus negative 14 equals 28. Again, I'm drawing my little line, so I know whatever I'm going to do to one side of the equation, I'm going to do the other. And you're going to say, well, the inverse operation of addition is subtraction. But if I put minus 14 there, a negative 14, it's not going to cancel out, because look at each one of these up above. You had a positive and a negative. So we have to do the same here. So since this is negative 14, we're going to add 14 to both sides. We're adding it. And again, notice if you owe your parents $14, you pay them $14, that's gone. It's 0. So now we get x is equal to, and we're going to add 28 plus 14. This is just my dividing line. It's a 12, carry my 1. So x is equal to 42. And again, you can substitute this in there. And if you had 42 and you took away 14, it is equal to 28. All right, well, let's take a look at number 5. I have negative 10 plus c equals 33. Well, the opposite of negative 10 is positive 10. We always want to have a pair of opposites. So if I add 10 to this side of the equation, yes, you guessed it, I've got to add 10 to the other side. And so I have my pair of opposites. They turn into a 0. I don't have to write the 0. I'm going to write c is equal to, and I'm just going to add those together, and you can see that is 43. Okay, and let's look at the last one. So I have y plus 7 equals a negative 21. Well, again, this is a positive 7, so I am going to have to subtract, and here's my little line that's dividing up my equation, subtract 7 from both sides, or write a negative 7 so I have that pair of opposites. So it's y is equal to, and for my brain for this problem, I'm just thinking like I'm going to be adding them. So I have a negative, this is my brain thinking about it, a negative 21 plus a negative 7. Well, we know when we're working with integers, if you have two negatives, you just add them. Okay, so it's 28, and you write the sign of what these numbers are. So your answer is y is equal to a negative 28. If you need some extra help with working with integers, you can check out Math with Marcia. I have add, subtract, multiply, and divide integer rules. If this video was helpful to you today, please add a like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe for more Math with Marcia. See you again soon.